I once pulled out all my left eyelashes and a hole in the swirl of my hair.
Whoa! Literally just,
Yep.
Was it one at a time or a big clump?
One at a time. You heard, if it's an eyelash, make a wish.
Yeah.
So I kept pulling out eyelashes and making wishes. and I wasn't sleeping. I was just laying on the couch, like plink. Oh, I wish for this. Plink. I wish for that. It wasn't until the next morning. I think I didn't realize I'd pulled pretty much all of them out.
Made a lot of wishes.
That's a lot of wish. I was really hoping for something. I'm not sure what, but
was it the same wish over and over for insurance, or
no?
was you
That
just,
would be severe. So what it is, it's sort of a cousin to OCD, called trichotillomania.
Whoa!
And a doctor or neurologist or someone was like, "You have trichotillomania, which is where you compulsively pull your hair out." So,
are you tender-headed or pretty tough?
What does tender-headed mean?
Like if your hair gets pulled, it's like, ow, that hurts.
Oh, I don't love that. No. Oh, don't pull my hair.
No.
Yeah, why don't you give it a try?
It's better with my shirt off.
I don't mind if someone pulls my hair. You can go ahead and give it a try now. It doesn't. I don't really have any reaction.
You're like, can you send me these video files as well?
Yeah, I like to watch my hair being pulled just to see.
I'm Cody Troutman, and this is my podcast, The Cody Trout Pod.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Dude, this is so fast. I sat down too fast. I thought there was going to be a lot of
there is not.
Yeah, I thought, but it's cautious. Got to be cautious these days.
Yeah, these couches, one of them was a gift and the other was off Facebook Marketplace, so they are the lowest budget.
So they're not matching on purpose. I mean, did you seek out a matcher?
I did the best I could within the budget. So this was a gift, and I was like, okay, let me find the closest thing I can, and this was as close as I could get.
Yeah. I bet yours is more comfortable.
You want to try it?
No. Okay. Wait, maybe later. Yeah. You got to be careful being a plop downer.
A plopper.
Like if you're a plopper, if you plop, you got to be careful. As you get older, you got to be careful. If you plop, you might it might not be able to support you.
You might stay plopped.
Yeah.
Is a situation you
might splat.
That's how you know you're getting old. It's not gray hairs, it's when plops turn to splats.
Yeah, when plops turn to splats. If you're a young man, you plop and you bounce, or you plop and you sit, you're okay. But when you splat, you're in trouble.
You want to hear something funny? So this is like this year I was gaining a lot of weight previously. So this year I was like, got to eat healthier, got to get it under control. And I had been making lots of progress. Wasn't being like, real public about it, because it's not like I'm in the gym getting jacked. I'm just trying not to die in 5 years. And there's this girl, her name's Brett, good friend. And at a mic,
What's Brett's last name?
Jennings.
I just was in San Francisco and everyone was asking me, do you know Brett Jennings? And
she's great.
And yeah. Everyone said wonderful things about Brett Jennings in San Francisco.
Wow, what a small world. Yeah, you just were there. Yeah, she's from San Francisco.
Everyone who said, you live in Oklahoma, you know Brett Jennings?
Wow. Yeah, she's great. Yeah, we gotta get you two to meet.
I heard that she moved.
She did.
Yes.
She's now in Dallas.
Yes.
The whole time she was in Oklahoma, she was like, why am I here? We're like, you chose to be here. But anyway, I sat down. She's very blunt, but not in like a rude way. She just always says what she's thinking. So she's like a good friend to have because she's very honest.
Right, she'll tell you.
Exactly.
You got the friends who go, my fat, they go, nah. Oh, sorry. You got the friends who go, my fat, they go, no. And then you say, my fat, you go, you are. Something like that.
So I sat down at this open mic.
I didn't mean to just jump into your story.
No, I plopped. And
you plopped. Oh, God, we're on plop.
Yeah, and she looks at me, she goes, and I was like, what? She's like, well, usually when you plop down, it's like a, and this time it was like a, And I was like, what does that mean? She was like, have you lost weight? I was like, I have lost weight.
Oh, okay.
So she was clocking my plops. She was
she's a plop clocker. Okay, they didn't tell me that in San Francisco, that she's a plop clocker.
Yeah, that's one point in the negative column.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily. You don't know when you're going to need a plop clocker on your side.
Couches like these, a plop clocker would help.
Yeah, well, you need someone to warn you. You need a plop clocker to warn you that that your plops aren't going to go well on this couch.
That's true. This is like a test the quadriceps strength. You gotta gently alight.
Okay, so you've been really working out. You've been really learning some stuff at the gym.
Zumba class.
Yeah. Wow. So you just put on weight because you were eating a bunch of stuff, or
just everything. I just love food.
Me too.
I had convinced myself, because I don't drink or do drugs or anything. I had convinced myself. I was like, oh, dude, I'm so healthy. and then I would eat like an entire pizza every night.
Yum.
It was delicious.
Good pizza or just any garbage pizza that comes your way?
I thought they were good, but
Like
they were probably bad.
Fancy pizzas or like, Neapolitans or some sort of a crust with a char on it or something like that.
Honestly, I would stay to the cheaper stuff like Domino's, Empire
Pizza Hut.
Slice,
Pizza
Hut,
Papa John.
Papa John's.
John Papa. John Popper, he should have, from the Blues Traveler, he should have something to say about Papa John. He should like sue or something. I don't know. He should get some money off Papa John.
Not all of us talk like that. That's what isn't Papa John the guy that got in trouble for saying the N-word, or am I thinking of a different pizza
Probably.
Okay.
But John Popper, he just seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, and he's getting a little bit of flack from the name similarity.
Yeah, people are probably like, I hate Papa John. These guys are scumbags. And he's like, no, I'm John Popper.
Different guy.
Yeah, I heard, they're saying, I heard that you say, racist words. And he's like, no, I'm the singer of Blues Traveler. I always get mixed up with Papa John.
Is that, do you remember that SNL skit not too long ago with John Mulaney where he was Harvey Epstein, the guy running for mayor?
I did see that, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a real guy. And they made a sketch out of it.
That was the joke.
Yeah, and he wasn't running for mayor. He was running for like some much lower, like
some New York State Assembly, something.
State Assemblyman, yes. And like his whole campaign in the sketch was just like, we're different guys.
I'm not Harvey Weinstein. I'm not Epstein.
Yeah. And then they would interview like people, just cast members, and they'd be like, everyone deserves a second chance. And he's like, I'm still on my first
I never
chance.
did anything wrong the first time. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's funny. Let me turn the fan on real quick.
Oh yeah, you're getting hot? So you're going to cut this part out when you put the fan on, or are we live? Are we just doing it live? I can keep the ball in the air. Don't worry. I got this. The fan turned on, but don't worry. I'll hold down the fort while you stand up and sit down. So, okay, I think I know what's going on here. You just don't want to plop down here. There's a wire and a beam. I could probably...
You could get a plop there.
I could probably plop there.
I can see from the bounce.
Yeah, This. I think you might just need to put a warning sign that says no plopping.
I think you're right.
Don't plop here. Plop there, plop there. But I think too many people have plopped here.
Because that was the gift from my friend. He had an art studio. I bet that's where everybody sat.
Gift, huh? some gift.
He offloaded an anti-plop
Some gift
couch.
I nearly broke my coccyx on. Friend. So wait, rewinding. What? Oh, you're a weight fluctuator, huh?
Yeah.
I'm a weight fluctuator. That's why. Yes, I also fluctuate weight. I lost like 40 pounds recently.
Good for you. That's amazing.
Thanks. But then I probably put like 5 on, and then lost 2, and then put 3 on, and then lost 4, and then water weighted 1, and then so it's always that. And I don't like to step on a scale because you get the OCD. I have OCD, it gets too bad. So I'm always kind of eyeballing it. And I noticed, so like when I was heavier, I would like look in the mirror and have a denial, like maybe it's not that bad, And when I lost the weight and it got back to like what I feel like I normally was, I noticed that a body dysmorphia came back. And I'm just like, wait, I put on weight. And I have to turn to my girlfriend and she's like, you didn't, you know what I mean? So
that is tough.
It's weird how the brain works. And I know enough to know like, this is my brain telling me this. I haven't strayed from like, I was pre-diabetic and I reversed it.
Nice.
But then I also but then the A1C, if you know what that is, went back up.
Okay.
And then I was like, why did it go back up? I didn't do anything. I talked about this on stage, and a kid, who's a little nerdy medical-y guy, was like, I think you might have abruptly stopped the sugar. Is that correct? And then I was like, that is correct. And then my set was done. So I don't know. And a doctor won't tell you, you know what I'm saying? Or nor a nurse practitioner. They just want to get you out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Anyway, so I'm always kind of like, thinking about the weight, and the diet and stuff like that.
A plop clocker, if you will.
I'm a plop clocker for myself. Well, I clock where the plops are going to go, and if I've overeaten, then you might not have good ploppings.
Yeah, it kind of limits the range of ploppable spaces.
Yeah, you want to plop wherever you can, but then when you get older, also those joints, you got to be careful.
Yeah, that's true.
How old are you?
29.
29. Okay, I'm almost 45.
Well, I was going to guess like 32.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look incredible.
Thanks. I've heard it before.
Yeah.
You look great too, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. That's you know, it's funny you were talking about like the weight thing. Well, I always thought I was like, I would tell myself I'm 5 pounds away from looking great. So I never worried about it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, now I've lost like 30 plus pounds.
Wow.
Every time I look in the mirror.
You lost 30 plus pounds too.
Well, I look in the mirror and I'm like, I'm still 5 pounds away. I don't look any better.
Oh, you feel like you don't look any better.
It's like you
How
were
do you
saying
feel?
though. I do feel a lot better, which
good.
I hate that that's true because everybody's like, if you get like, you'll feel a lot better. I'm like, it's all bullshit. Then I do feel better.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, great. Now I got to keep doing it because I feel better.
Yeah.
If I didn't feel better, I'd be like, you were all wrong.
Now, how's the confidence? Is it affect the confidence, or is it you just physically feel better? Like I can move. Like for me, being able to fit in my clothes from a few years back, like before the pandemic, I was like, I feel like me again.
Oh,
and that was an
gotcha.
issue for me where I was like, I hate all these clothes. Like I have my life, you know, I'm, like I said, I'm almost 45. So it's like, I'm generally one weight, and then I put on a bunch for different reasons. And then I go back to what it was before. And I'm like, I'm a little closer to how I felt like me before. I don't know, but there's definitely a vanity element to it, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Like,
And I guess if we're talking confessions today, maybe that is kind of, I'm going to confess some vanity.
Oh, yes.
I have a little bit of vanity. Maybe even if you're a vanity clocker, like a plop clocker, but I don't think the Lord is clocking your vanity all the time. You know, how much is too much, right?
That's a good question.
That's what we're getting. How much is too much and how much is not enough?
There's the right amount.
There's got to be a right amount. And, you know, and how do you got to cut it? You got to cut the balance of, you know, you got to be careful. You know, you want to be healthy. You want to feel good. You want to wear the clothes that make you feel good.
True.
But you don't want to be like me all the time. And let me do some drastic measures to deal with this thing, you know, which is causing me to go this way and that way and that way, just so I feel that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you make a good point because some of like the fittest dudes I know are the most dissatisfied with their appearance.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because they've become so obsessed with like every little.
And they hold themselves funny, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is an interesting physical appearance is an interesting thing.
You know, it's your brand. It's your brand, bro.
Yeah. Some people, because what I wear on stage is always just like black jeans and like a fun windbreaker.
Okay.
So people are like, "Oh, you have cool style."
Now, is the windbreaker kind of like this is like a windbreaker light? This is just
a shirt.
I know, yeah. but the windbreaker like a colorful one, like a vintage one?
Yeah, vintage, like 80s, 90s.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
Fun
so that's kind of the Cody Troutman brand. That's the Cody Troutman persona.
Trying to signal that it's going to be fun. It's going to be silly.
I'm a silly guy. I'm a fun guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I like this.
Minimal slurs. Minimal.
Yeah.
Keep them zero.
Now, I don't run with a scene that does any slurs, really. You know, so I don't know.
No, neither do I. I was just joking. But,
audiences, that you got to protect them. You got to say... You got to warn them. You got to say, "Don't worry, no slurs coming." All right, let's get to the jokes.
Then you call them a slur, and they're like, whoa, misdirect.
Okay, I don't feel safe.
Okay, so what we did beforehand is we wrote down like a collection of topics, prompts, or stories.
Yes, and now this is something you've been doing for how long at this point?
Only a month. I just recently transitioned to this
you
format.
You did a rebranding, refiguring.
Exactly. So it all came together. So I had like what you would call a normal podcast, or I guess what I would call a boring podcast.
Me too.
Yeah, I would just like talk to people, but I was looking for...
Tell me about your journey.
Yeah, like a theme or direction.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So then I started this live show, started working on it in February, built it up, finally got it launched, really liked the format of that, and I was like, you know what? I just want the podcast to be a one-on-one version of this.
Smart.
So now the whole thing is just one thing. The live show, the podcast, it's all one thing. So the live show.
Do you record the live shows?
Yeah.
You put those out?
The first one that we recorded will come out. Actually, probably came out right before this.
Now, do you edit this?
I do. Yeah.
And does it take you a long time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my issue with podcasts.
The editing
you can cut
does
this
take
out
a
if
long
it's
time.
boring.
No,
because I film mine and I just. I have to take a break because I got 10 in the can. So in my mind, I'm just going to say season 2 coming soon. Because I heard that that's what people do on podcasts.
Okay, okay.
They say, season 2. You don't. How often do you put one out?
Just once a week.
Just once a week.
Yeah, just once a week. Honestly, I couldn't do more.
Just once a week is often.
Yeah, that's
normal.
Yeah. Some people do them a lot.
Some people do multiples a week.
Well, like some of the big podcasts are like 3 times a week, and so I just couldn't do that.
They crank them.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah, that's a cranker. I mean, those are crankers. we call those are crankers.
Yeah, and I myself am
they
a
got
cranker.
Money, they got budget, they got editors. You're a one-man show.
That's true.
The
editing just takes. You know what actually takes the most time is the clips.
Clips.
That takes, because if I just put the episodes out, nobody watches. So I have to make clips to drive traffic, and the clips take a long time.
Yeah, you got to get now, and you got to make them vertical.
Yeah.
And now, how do you do that?
I just
you
haven't
can cut all this out too if this is boring.
No, I have an editing software and just change up the aspect ratios, and then on the cameras, not only do I cut to which camera, I'll like recenter it.
Yeah, that part is so hard.
Yeah,
because I do it on iMovie, and I'm probably doing it the wrong way.
I'm probably doing it wrong too.
Yeah,
I just do it all because I don't know all the tricks. I just do it manually because it's like there's too much going on.
But even that is it can get so tedious. Sometimes I get in the zone, and I can crank it.
Yeah.
But that's been the big challenge for me with working on that sort of thing. Yeah.
Gosh. And I think it's
fun.
one of those. Yeah. When I'm making when I'm doing the show, it's super fun.
Yeah.
When a clip comes together, it's really fun. But some of the more monotonous elements of it take a long time.
Yeah, and the promoting.
That
and
is,
and what's weird is when I used to make like a sketch video in the sketch video days or whatever, you would make the video, and then I would make the video with my friends and then text it to all my friends. Watch my new video.
Oh, yeah.
And that would just be like, I'll just text it to everybody. And, nothing would really go viral, but I would be like, there's a way to here's my latest thing. It's 3 minutes long or something. And I just feel like you can't do that with this because you'll wear everyone out. All you can do is post it,
Yeah.
You can't every time you put an episode out, like, watch my hour-long episode. Here's my hour-long episode. I feel like an asshole just even texting it to someone. Unless it's like, this specifically for you, friend. I think you might specifically like this one. This one I think is for you.
As a plop clocker, you should tune in to the first part of this.
Yeah, if we did plop clocking theme, if I did a plop clocker episode, I would make sure that the plop clocking friends would clock the episode.
It is hard to specifically recommend a podcast episode to a specific person because it's like, hey, I know like the Queen's Gambit is how you could spend an hour. How about you listen to it? Is that a podcast? Oh, no, it's like the #1 Netflix show. Oh. I was just trying to think of like something like real highbrow intellectual and being like, hey, you want to listen to me talk instead?
Yeah. I know you got an hour of time to consume some content with. Yeah. Why not choose me talking? Versus, the
Breaking Bad,
very critical. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, it is true. But I did. So what we did is we wrote down just like prompts, stories, ideas. So instead of typical interview format, we'll draw one.
Yeah, let's draw this one. Oh, there's nothing on here. God. Whoa,
it's a twist.
This is mysterious. Nice. We're playing with the form. That's what I like to do. I like to play with the form.
Yeah.
I get if I get too into the form, I get bored.
Okay.
So I like to play with it.
You got to break the form.
Yeah, we got to break the form.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I played too hard. I broke it.
I like that.
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I would say let's
pick one.
Yeah, I'll just give you one of these. Read it out, and then wherever you want to go, break the form. Take us there.
Feel too. I want you to jump in too. I can't, steer the wheel because I came up with this, so I can't. I don't. These are just prompts.
Yeah,
these are prompts. These aren't great stories. They're personal trivia.
It's simply a diving board to leap.
Now, does your audience know that these are? Do they consider? Are they waiting to hear a confession?
I don't think my audience is large enough to have like a
this is for
expectation.
Us.
Yeah,
this is for us.
Like each episode averages like 50 viewers.
Yeah, there you go. And this is for us.
Yeah.
So I once pulled out all my left eyelashes and a hole in the swirl of my hair.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Whoa! Did you do like literally just?
Yep.
What was it? One at a time or a big clump?
One at a time.
Was this like a? you were having like a stressful moment and just went, or it was just like over time you were doing landscaping and just liked the way it looked?
I think I was in 7th grade.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And one night I remember laying in bed. I was sleeping on the couch in the playroom, which I took over as a kid, and
Smart.
but I had a couch rather than a bed for probably a couple of years. And I remember I had a superstitious thought. Well, you heard, if it's an eyelash, make a wish.
Yeah.
So I kept pulling out eyelashes and making wishes, and I wasn't sleeping. I was just laying on the couch, like plink. Oh, I wish for this. Plink. I wish for that. Plink. I wish for that. And I just kept doing it, and I didn't stop. And then I think it wasn't until the next morning or something that I went to school, or I think I didn't realize I'd pulled pretty much all of them out. Maybe there was like a couple of them left on the side, I
made a lot of wishes.
That's a lot of wish. I was really hoping for something. I'm not sure what. Hoping for a lot of things to work out in certain ways. So yeah, I think I was just like going every direction with those wishes. I don't remember what I was wishing for, but
was it the same wish over and over for insurance, or
no? That would be severe. So and then the other thing is that I would pluck this. What it is it's sort of a cousin to OCD, called trichotillomania.
Whoa.
And a doctor or neurologist or someone was like, you have trichotillomania, which is where you compulsively pull your hair out as a nervous tick.
Whoa.
Some people might do that as a nervous tick, or I'll go for my hair and start pulling it. And so I had this this size bald spot in the middle.
Whoa.
And then I had pulled out, and then I remember the teacher being like, what'd you do to your eye? And I was like, I don't know what you mean. And then and I had pulled them all out.
Whoa.
So I think it was, and I would also, have that thing. I would do it once I realized that there was like that 7th grade shame of, oh no, what did I do? I don't have a recollection of people being like, you look like a freak or anything like that, but it was like, I'm sure it was definitely weird. It definitely made me feel, and maybe some people would go, what's that? You got a bald spot. What's that bald spot?
They're like, Josh is trying something different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Josh is so edgy and he's got such new ideas about appearance.
He's breaking the form is what he's doing.
He's playing with the form. He's playing with form until he breaks it.
Yeah. Playing with the form. That's
he's playing with the ideas of appearance and vanity and persona.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At such a young age.
Yeah. Black jeans and a parachute jacket. What'd you call it?
Yeah,
and
a windbreaker,
and an intentional bald spot.
That's
Those
a
are
good
cool
look.
shoes.
Thank you.
Are they comfortable?
They are. I actually have to wear them for my back.
Oh, you got a bad back?
Yeah. So my previous career was professional golf.
Oh,
had to
professional golf.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had to stop after too many back injuries and surgeries. So my back was like destroyed.
So I didn't know that. If I look you up, I'd be like, oh shit, I should have known that about Cody. He's a professional golfer.
I never, so.
Professional means pro. Like there's only one pro, like PGA.
So do you know like Major League Baseball at all?
I heard about it.
So they have like the MLB is the top level.
Yeah.
Same with the golf. The PGA Tour is the top level.
Yeah.
There's lots of levels below that you have to work up through.
Right.
I never made it to the PGA Tour. I made it to the one below.
Okay,
so
gotcha. That's still a big deal.
Yeah, it was cool, but I wasn't like famous or
so
like.
You're retired.
Yeah, I get like medical retirement.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never made it to the top though. I can't claim that level of skill.
Did the back injury cause the weight gain?
Maybe indirectly, because after I stopped golf, I was like bummed, so I just ate all the time.
I got you. Yeah. And that's see, we could go anywhere with this. I have similar things where it's like, eating can be a nervous tick.
Yes.
Eating can be you're soothing yourself by eating, and I also love to eat. I love food.
Food's the best.
And you gotta like really be aware of what your emotions are doing and what they're causing you to do. And so it's like I'll just go eat a whole bunch.
What's your favorite? Like if there was no consequences for eating
cookies and ice cream.
It's a what?
Cookies and ice cream.
Cookies and ice cream. Warm cookies and cold, like the contrast?
Pretty much any. I love a cookie.
Yeah.
I love a soft cookie. Not a big fan of a crunchy cookie, but
I'm with you there.
With my open-mindedness as I grow, I like to continue to open my mind,
Yeah.
I'm warming up
Whoa.
to a crunchy cookie. Yeah, I remember people like when I'd go talk about cookies all the time, they'd be like, "Oh, Tate's." I'd be like, "Fuck Tate's."
Are they crunchy?
Tate's is famously a crunchy cookie.
Ugh.
But at the same time, I also loved, if we're talking brand cookies, I also loved Famous Amos.
Okay.
And Famous Amos are crumbly cookie. Now, is this too, am I making older references?
No, I'm learning.
Famous Amos?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, it's a famous, he's famous. Amos is famous.
He's famous,
I don't know if you know this about it, famous.
They
Amos.
don't call it Famous Tate's, it's Famous Amos.
Yeah. Tate's is famous too, but Amos is very famous.
Yeah, he's
Amos
known for his notoriety.
He's not infamous Amos. Infamous Amos. That's a funny joke.
That's a tongue twister.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Infamous Amos is here. Anyway, cookies. I love them. I eat it too much. That's what caused the A1C to get too high. That's where I had to reverse that pre-diabetic blood work.
Oh, gosh.
Yep. So those are good for your back, huh?
Yeah, so
I have bad feet, so I'm wearing these shoes for my. I had bone spurs.
Oh, those are nice. They look very athletic.
I need a wide. There's few. I need a wide.
Dude, same.
Yeah.
With these.
So are those? What are those brand? What's that brand?
They're called Feel Grounds.
Feel Grounds.
Basically, the idea is that it's a really wide toe box, and it's just like a little bit of rubber and cloth. So with my back, my legs and feet, there's a lot of nerve damage. So my feet like atrophy. They don't work. So I have to constantly wear either like barefoot or really minimalistic shoes. So my feet have to work hard, and it keeps like the nerve atrophy away.
Wow.
Yeah. So if I wear like real supportive shoes, my feet will just like turn into blocks. Like they don't they're not getting used.
They're not you. Oh, yeah. Wow, that's interesting. I'm like, did the doctor tell you to do those shoes, or you figured it out?
The doctor did, salesman. But it was with the shoe salesman. These were $1,000.
Yeah.
It took a few things to figure out. Like I did a bunch of physical therapy, did the surgeries, and then eventually what
was the back surgery, if you don't mind my asking? Have you talked about this a lot?
No, not really.
What was the back surgery?
So the most serious one by far was L3, L4, and L5, which is like the lower spine.
Yeah.
The discs, I'm gonna make sure I get this right. The discs had both herniated, but because the area was weaker, the lumbar spine started to curve a lot more. So the discs started to like point together, and they cut into the surrounding tissue. And there was like a small amount of internal bleeding, which once it clotted or whatever, like it formed like scar tissue. So the whole area not only was damaged, but it was like stuck. And that's when I was in real trouble.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, at what age did that first surgery?
The first injury was like at 18 or 17.
Jeez.
But then I finally had the major surgery when I was 23.
Okay.
Yeah. I battled it for a long time because I didn't want to get major back surgery at such a young age.
Yes.
And I played in Southeast Asia. So I was like a long way from home.
Yeah.
I was trying to, not, have so much going on where it's like, oh, if my back goes out over here, I'm in real trouble.
Yeah.
But then eventually I just had to get the surgery.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Goodbye, golf. It was real.
Yeah. Can you play it for fun as a hobby, or you can't because you can't even?
I can play like once a month if I like really want to.
Now, is it the swinging, or is it what is it can you do mini golf?
Yeah, I could probably do mini golf.
Yeah.
It's more so like anything that uses that air. So like if I mini golf, I could mini golf. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it. Like if I putt for a long time though, that area just doesn't respond well to it.
Oh.
It was what caused it, and what still would aggravate is like the overuse of that area, because now they've had to shave away the discs, and they also had to do so the word is fusion, but they didn't have to fuse the vertebrae together. That's like the big extreme. They fused my tissue to the vertebrae. So they drilled little holes, and they fused the tissue into there. But when people say spinal fusion, they're talking about like a full, like I didn't have that.
My mom had that recently. That's why I'm like, she had a major one, 2 of them.
Oh man, those
like
are really
one year,
intense.
and then one like another like a year later.
Mine's a step below that. I didn't have to go that.
Where'd you get it done?
Shoot.
In Oklahoma?
McBride. Yeah, a guy named Lance Smith at McBride did it.
Okay.
But they had a
Lance Smith.
neurologist do it. So it was kind
They
of
had a neurologist do it?
Yeah, they were going to have an orthopedic surgeon do it. And then we met with a few different people and we had a neurologist do it because he was going to be like...
You knew about the nerves.
Yeah, a little more cautious with the nerve damage stuff.
Yeah.
That was kind of the plan.
Yeah.
And then after a while, he was like, well, no, you can... So I still have to do like kind of daily... physical therapy / rehab, and then wear these shoes and just kind of make sure I sleep certain ways.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
Yeah,
For a young man.
Not near as bad as it used to be. It's like, maybe 20 minutes of my day.
That's tough. Yeah, me, I pull my hair out.
that is intense. So the eyelashes were getting you wishes, but the top of the head, that was just fun.
Just soothing.
Yeah,
It actually feels good.
yeah.
Well, it actually feels like relief or something like that.
Are
So,
you tender-headed or pretty tough? I'm tender-headed.
now or then?
Yeah.
What
Both.
does tender-headed mean?
Like if your hair gets pulled, you're like, it's like, ow, that hurts. Like some people are like,
Oh, I don't love that. No. Oh, don't pull my hair.
You're like, let's find out right now.
Yeah, why don't you give it a try?
It's better with my shirt off.
I don't mind if someone pulls my hair. You can go ahead and give it a try now. It doesn't. I don't really have any reaction.
You're like, can you send me these video files as well?
I like to watch my hair being pulled just to see what it feels like.
Yeah, just to see if I'm sensitive to it.
Yeah. I actually don't know. Why don't we try it? I don't know. I don't think it hurts me that bad. I think actually, and so what happens also, what happened is I have like a, little kind of like through the years, like a flake spot or something that I think a doctor, probably a dermatologist called a picker's nodule.
From the action?
Pulling, in that same spot. There's still like for years I'd get like a little kind of flaky, scabby spot always in like one of those same areas that I pulled as a kid. But I also have other nervous tics too, like. I don't pull my hair out anymore, not in a major way.
Yeah.
There might be one, and I would get obsessed with plucking the hair and then seeing the follicle and the melanin at the end of the hair.
Whoa, yeah.
And this is probably gross. I don't care.
I'm intrigued.
But sometimes I'd sit and zone out ADHD in class, and I would. Well, I guess I would do it not in the textbooks. I'd do it on my own, lined paper. I'd scrape the melanin off on the page and make a little melanin smear.
Nice.
Yeah. It was like the coolest thing in the world to me. Probably kind of gross because it's just like you're dealing with body fluid. I don't know. But I would just like, and it's like in my mind, I was like, ooh, I want to keep pulling it out to get another, like I could make art out of this, with little tiny smears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever create a full piece of melanin?
I never went that far, but I always would do it and I'd have the idea. And I think what my goal, like I would do it and I would want more and like try to be, the most it would get would be like a little stipply, smeary type patch on the paper.
An abstract.
But that was where my mind was. I was like, man, I should just keep. I mean, I suppose that would be a crazy piece of performance art. Goal to still do is pull out all the hair and make a drawing or a smeary thing on a piece of paper and be like, I have no hair. Here's my drawing.
That's really sacrificing for the art.
Yeah. Or the urge, because it's a nervous tick, so you get the urge to do it. Yeah.
You're like, I'm really nervous.
Look how nervous I am. Guess what? I feel no better.
Wow, that's cool.
This will sell for how much?
Yeah, honestly, I bet if marketed and promoted the right way, people would.
You're an art star over here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do feel like a lot of contemporary art has to do with like the kind of marketing and branding of it.
You're probably not wrong.
I might be wrong on that, but I feel like
I don't think you're wrong on that.
Because some of it, I think art, especially paintings or drawings, it's very hard to classify like which one is worth $50 million and which one is worth like $5,000.
Yeah.
Like I feel like once they're really good, it kind of becomes more subjective. But I don't know enough about art to critique.
Yeah. I certainly can't speak with authority with the language. But this is Jeff Koons, isn't it?
Yeah,
the original Jeff Koons.
That's actually
is that in the frame?
Barely in that one, yeah. I actually got
This is a good joke I just made. I mean, when you said that, it was right there. Jeff Koons. It's a Jeff Koons. It's a Jeff Koons. Did you get that joke? It's a Jeff Koons.
Do you know?
You look up Jeff Koons and you'll be like, that is a good joke. That's a good art joke. It's a Jeff Koons, everyone. Look, it's a Jeff Koons. We're talking about art, and he said, I don't know about art, but he's got a Jeff Koons right here.
Was that an elephant sculptor? Is that who Jeff is?
No, he just has he does a wide variety of stuff, but he famously has like metallic type things, or metallic things that look like animal balloons, or reflective type giant ones and smaller ones, and
like the Chicago bean.
I don't know what that is, but it could even be him.
Maybe it's not. You know that big metal thing in the middle of Chicago? It's like the reflective tourist attraction.
Yeah, it's a big old blob.
Yeah,
it's a big old plopper.
Yeah, that plopped.
Yeah,
that's a spaceship that plopped.
Yeah, someone plopped that down. Yeah.
Well, no, I got that elephant as the trophy for winning the Othello's Comedy Classic.
The Othello's Comedy Classic. Yeah, that's a Norman mic, right?
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, they do.
They didn't know what they had.
For real. I'm gonna sell that for $1 million.
Yeah.
Every year they do
I keep trying to put a quarter in here.
Oh, it's full.
I can't seem to get that. I can't seem to get my quarter in here. I gotta make sure my physical comedy's seen.
Yeah.
That's my problem with podcasts. I'm too busy doing physical comedy. No one's. I guess podcasts are now viewers.
Yeah, we got
viewing
visual.
now. The future is viewing.
Mm-hmm.
So you won Othello's open mic.
Well, they do the open, but they do a competition every year as well.
Okay.
So it's like the open mic is like the marketing for the competition, I guess.
Yeah. And this is what they give you? They give you money too?
Yeah, you get the trophies just like for fun, but they give you money and then festival spots. You get
okay.
So I got a spot in the Minneapolis Comedy Festival and the Columbus Comedy Festival.
Okay,
which is nice. Yeah.
Yes, that is nice.
Not too bad.
Yeah, it's not just a waste of time.
No, it's not.
Yeah, there was an ends to the men's.
Yeah,
there's an ends to the men's.
Yeah, they're like, hey, if you win this, you can go spend more money on the road.
Yeah,
but no, they pay for your flights and stuff.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's great. I don't want to disparage Othello's.
Disparage them. Fuck them. Just kidding.
The owner, Jennifer, she's like super supportive of local comedy, which she does not have to be.
Nope.
Because the scene is not worth supporting at times.
Oh, rude.
But she does it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's not a ton of us.
Yeah, there's not a ton. I observe the same thing. So that's why I go out of town and do.
Yeah.
Just to work stuff out. Just to, it's harder. It is harder to. I don't want to talk about comedy. That's boring. What's on? You pull one.
Oh yeah. Okay. You're right. Let me see.
These are mine, right?
Yeah, I'll make sure it's one of mine here. Oh, is that mine? Let me see. Yeah, this is one of mine. I remember this moment. I lost my favorite pair of sunglasses at the Science Museum. I now refuse to return.
Wait, so you're saying you had a favorite pair of sunglasses?
Oh,
you went to the site
by far, yeah,
by far, like beyond.
I wore them every day. It was kind of obsessive.
You went to the Science Museum,
yes,
and lost them,
yes,
and out of spite or trauma, you won't go back to that museum.
More so spite. So this pair of sunglasses, my first serious girlfriend ever had gotten them for me. And even though our relationship was not meant to be, these sunglasses were perfect. They fit me great. Because glasses
it was a good gift.
Hurt my head for some reason.
Yes.
These did not. I wore them every day, even in like the winter. I was even like sunglasses inside guy. I just liked the way they looked.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
Make you feel good.
Yeah.
Great. Like
sometimes
the look that you just feel right. You feel safe.
I did. And they made it, so like on golf, I would wear them during golf as well. They made it with me all over the country, in Canada, Asia. They made. I never.
You had a journey with these.
I did,
glasses.
yeah. And then I went on a date with my actual current girlfriend.
Yes.
That's a weird detail, but that they were from an extra. But the ex-girlfriend was like in high school, so it was like long ago. The woman I'm with now, who I will be with forever, we were going on a date.
Yes.
To the Science Museum.
Yes.
I wore the sunglasses because I wanted to look cool.
Cool.
At the Science Museum, there was a Sherlock Holmes exhibit, and you got to like. Solve a mystery.
Oklahoma City Science Museum, formerly known as the Omniplex?
Yes, it used to be the Omniplex.
Yes.
So we go in there, and the exhibit, you get to solve a mystery.
Okay.
But it's kind of dark, so I take the sunglasses off to assist in solving the mystery. We solve the mystery. Woo, we did it. We leave the exhibit. I'm like, oh no, I set my sunglasses down. Couldn't have been more than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I go back in there, and they're like, oh, you can't come back. I was like, no, I left my sunglasses. Like, well, we'll check for you. They can't find him. And I'm like, please let me go back in. I really need to find him. Like, no. You can't go back in once you did it. And I was like, well, I'll pay to go again. And they're like, well, we're trying to close up. And I was like, no, I was in there 10 minutes ago. I just need to find these sunglasses. They're like, come back tomorrow morning.
Oh.
So I came back the next day. I looked in there, couldn't find them. And I was like, can we look at the security cameras? I know I'm being crazy, high maintenance.
These are important sunglasses.
They're more than sunglasses at this point. It's like my anchor to reality,
yes.
you know?
Yes.
And they said, no, we're not going to do that. And so I was incredibly distraught that I lost my best sunglasses. And I just...
How long ago was this?
Probably 2 years now at this point. This was a while ago.
You, and there was no lost and found type finding? And
I called every couple of days for weeks until every person there knew my voice and what I was asking. And they said, listen, we have your information. We'll call you. So they stopped answering.
Yeah, I feel like this is the thing. It's like, you guys should have let me in there.
Yeah.
You guys should have let me in there.
And you know what it was? It normally would have like pressed harder to go back in.
Yeah.
But my girlfriend and we hadn't been together a long time.
It was an early date.
And I didn't want to come now.
You don't want to see now.
Now I'd be like, baby, watch how I handle
True
this.
colors.
Yeah, because we're in love. She would be like, go get your son. Like, she would be
She's
all
like,
about
you go
it.
get him.
Yeah, but I was insecure and I didn't want to.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a tough thing. Do you want to lead with aggressive, give me back my sunglasses
exactly.
guy? That it's people, I think when you start dating someone, there's should be an expectation that like, this might be in there in the person, but there's you don't want it to be like the opening, because you could give it. I mean, I think your instinct was right about that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of ways to look at that story. That is a frustrating story. That is frustrating that they wouldn't let you in there.
Yeah.
But I mean, how long after retiring from golf had that happened?
About a year.
Okay.
About a year.
I gotta say, you may not want to hear this. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, to get away from those sunglasses.
Well, I think it is, because I think it signaled, and I'm not super hocus pocus, but it is sometimes fun to use that kind of language, like the universe was signifying an end of an era.
Yeah.
And like those sunglasses, maybe they got you where you needed to go.
Whoa.
And then here a new door is opening up.
Whoa.
And then something else is happening. You've met someone special. This is the beginning of a relationship, and there's so much tied to that. And it's not even about the high school ex-girlfriend, that gave you the sunglasses. It's just like those sunglasses accompanied you through a whole lot, including a career.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe have you already thought this through, or had these ideas, or
not
just
symbolized by the
That's what I'm hearing when I hear you say
Yeah.
that story. I go, that is frustrating. And I've got versions of things like that where it's like, this thing I wanted, so I want, and I've left sunglasses that I liked that, I'm like, I wish I could find those, or t-shirts, like that t-shirt from childhood, my mom gave it away, or whatever. Yeah. But, I don't know. I think it's a good thing. You're independent. You've got the pictures of you with those sunglasses.
That's true.
What's an object?
That's true.
Just an object. You got the pictures. If you wanted, you could find those sunglasses again, or you could go get another version of them. I'm sure the brand and the make and the model and the year. You could eBay, Etsy it, see if you find another pair or a different color. But I just think that you got a special person in your life, and I think a new pair of sunglasses is coming your way that may not even, need that sort of supportiveness or something. I don't know. It's kind of that thing of like, there's a lot there.
Yeah. I like how you're looking at it. And you know what's funny is I think it really did signify the end of a chapter, like you're saying, because like you said, I know the exact make model of the sunglasses. I ordered more pairs of them.
Oh, really?
But what I had forgotten is that when I first got the sunglasses, I had set them like next to the trunk of my car, and I had closed my trunk on them.
The redos.
Yeah.
The comebacks.
No, the original pair.
Oh.
And it had bent them in such a way that for some reason they fit right. They were all deformed, but they my ears are a little cockeyed. So, and they fit just right. So I get this new pair, and they don't fit right. I take them to a glasses store to have them adjusted, and no matter what, they kind of hurt.
They're not getting it right.
And it symbolizes that era is over.
Yeah.
The sunglasses were the last piece of it. We've let them go.
Yeah.
It's time for new eyewear,
you have
new
the
experiences.
cellular regeneration going as well. The 7-year itch, the 7-year cellular regeneration. I wonder if that movie, The 7-Year Itch with Marilyn Monroe, is referring to the cellular regeneration.
I think that's the subtext of it.
Probably.
Is that it's just the cells in their bodies are new and they don't compatibilize anymore.
Yeah, yeah. New, you know, that was those sunglasses, maybe you never even had them. They were just old cells.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's going on here. Just like in my mind, I haven't been to the Science Museum, but in my mind, it's the Omniplex, but it's no longer the Omniplex.
Yeah, I do.
When
like
you said the Science Museum, I was like, the Omniplex. Oh, so many childhood memories of my grandparents going to the Omniplex. I loved the Omniplex. Everyone, we all loved the Omniplex. My cousins, we all loved the Omniplex. And that there was, were you old enough to go to it when it was the Omniplex?
Yes, yes.
And you remember that big jungle, giant thing where you crawl in there? And
I went on a school field trip and we did that. So I only did it once.
So it must have been like the tail end of that.
Okay.
That climbing thing's run. That was, to me, nothing. There was nothing cooler when I was a kid.
I remember that we got astronaut ice cream when I was there. I liked that a lot.
Yeah, astronaut ice cream, which is weird. It's like basically like edible foam, styrofoam.
Yeah, it's not good, but it was the experience of like, the people are eating this in space.
They're in space eating this.
Yeah.
Which they're probably not. They're probably eating better stuff.
Yeah, it's just like a marketing thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
it was.
It did sound very futuristic. It sounded like, so this is what we're gonna eat when we futurize in space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, what a time. Yeah, I don't know why they renamed it. The Omniplex is cooler.
Omniplex is a cooler name.
Yeah.
I don't know if the people weren't coming or what.
So,
yeah. Wait. So your story was about the sunglasses.
Yeah, that was
coming and going.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I have an equivalent? Do I have something?
Ooh, yeah, like a symbolic passage of an era in
something
your life.
that is just like, wish I had that, or I lost that, or I mean, there are some. Yeah, there's definitely nothing's coming to mind.
Okay,
nothing immediate's coming to mind without having to do some time stalling digging. You know,
do you want to pull?
Yeah, let's pull another.
Could pull another prompt here.
Let's pull another. I don't know that this prompt is going to be whatever it is going to be any good. If I came up with it.
There we
Let's
go.
see here.
What's this one say?
Yesterday, I walked into a record store and bought a Fatboy Slim CD.
I think that you made a great decision.
You think I did?
Yeah.
Yeah?
What inspired this? Did you go seeking the CD?
I did.
Okay.
And it was in the used section. I go, I want. So I go through different phases of liking things, certain types of movies, certain types of music. I don't seek out a ton at my age. I don't seek out a ton of new music, and I don't really follow a lot of like modern pop music unless like my girlfriend's daughter, is talking about it. And then that's where I get awareness from it. And,
Gotcha.
Certain pop culture things you can't avoid. But I've always kind of had like the willful ignorance thing of like, you go in the department store and you hear a pop song. You're like, I don't know what this is. I don't know who sings this. This could be one of 10 singers whose name I vaguely know.
Yeah.
And I can't distinguish them. But
what was like the last bit of like pop culture, pop music that you were kind of like actively engaging with before you're like, you know what, I've kind of got my thing. I'm detaching.
I don't know, but I do know that like when I was like, I moved to LA in the year 2000.
Okay.
And I graduated high school in 99, and so
dang, you got out there early.
Yeah, I sat around in Tulsa for about a year working at a grocery store, video store, and till I was like, I'm going to LA, and I don't know, I have like, I was, when you're that young, when you're like 18 to 23, your snobbery is extra strong. You're like, I like this, I don't like that. I like this, I don't like that. And so I'd say in the late 90s, I went through various phases this is what I'm into. This is what I really respond to. And one of them was like certain types of like electronic music. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because that was really popular. There were like labels like Astralworks, Warp Label, Reflux, and people groups like Autechra and Square Pusher and
Square
Music
Pusher's cool.
and Aphex Twin and that type of music. I was super into that type of music, but then adjacent to that, I was also kind of into like things like trip hop.
Okay.
There was this band.
What's trip hop?
Trip hop is like, it's the same type of, they would all kind of intermit. Trip hop, it's like trip hop acid jazz, it's like trip hop, mate. You feel like maybe trip hop, we're doing trip hop, me brother, me lover, me brother, me cover, So
it's like hip hop, but a little bit trippy, a little bit psychedelic.
And it's usually a band plays it, but maybe they, like Portishead. You know Portishead? Portishead? So Portishead is a pretty popular band from the 90s. You would probably, if you know Square Pusher, you'd probably at least recognize a Portishead song.
Okay.
So I went through like bands like that are kind of cool. There was this one band that like I was so into called Red Snapper.
Whoa, yeah.
And do you know them?
No, I just love the name already.
I was like, and then I was like so into them. I bought like every album, every single, and then I completely forgot about Red Snapper and didn't care, and then maybe even was like embarrassed that I liked them. and then recently I was thumbing through my old CDs from that time, and I found a Red Snapper CD, and I'm sort of like, maybe it's time for me to wonder if this, to consider that this is maybe there's something, maybe it jars something loose, maybe it jars a memory. We're talking 25 years, and so I put it on. I was like, I gotta be honest. I like it.
Yeah,
I'm into it. I like driving to it. I like zoning out to it. It's what I like. This is who I am. and so, I like, I go through the different, like, I guess I was like, and then my girlfriend and I, we went on a trip recently, and I also found this label called Astralworks, like free sampler that I probably got in a magazine, like Herb. There was a magazine in the late 90s called Herb, URB. And that had a lot of like DJ stuff and like that type of music. And I had a subscription to it, but I never read it. I was like, yes, my new Herb. Put that right over there. That was when you had magazine subscriptions existed. And but I wonder if I still have them. They probably still have them. Or maybe I threw them out. I don't know. But
it's like a perfect time capsule.
I know. I wish I actually should look and see maybe there's more samplers. But get some of that music, and also read about what are these artists that but I don't know. So we threw that sampler on when we were driving, and it starts with this Fatboy Slim song. You know who Fatboy Slim is, right?
I do. I'm not like super familiar with the catalog.
Well, that's the thing.
No,
Fatboy Slim was like so popular at that time, and so I was so snobby with my type of music that I was like, that's so easy. That's so obvious. It's so commercial.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, come on. Fatboy Slim is good. And it was hip too. It had like Spike Jonze doing the music video and stuff like that. Praise You. It's like, who Spike Jonze is?
Yeah.
So he's a filmmaker and he was a big music video director. And
I didn't know about the music video part.
Yeah, that's where he like got his start. And he actually got a start like in the skate scene. Like he was like adjacent to like I think like the actor Jason Lee was a big skater, and I think Spike Jonze started by he would take the videos of it, and then he started directing music videos, and then he moved his way into directing movies. But he's like associated with like Jackass and stuff like that because they started in like skating videos and stuff like that. So anyway, Spike Jonze, there's a video that's like him as a character dancing at a movie theater for Praise You, and so you might, if you look that up, you might recognize it or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so to me, it's funny and it's mildly confession-like because 5 years ago, I would think that would be the lamest thing. Maybe 10 years ago, I would think that's the lamest thing ever. No way in heck I'm going to walk into a record store and go straight to the used CD section and look for a Fatboy Slim CD. And I was like, you know what? It's good.
Yeah.
And I like what I like. Yeah. I don't need the judgment of 34-year-old Josh.
You don't need permission from past you.
No, I don't. And you know what? I put it on. Well, when I got lost finding your house, I was like, I can't really listen to this right now. But in general, I was like, I'm gonna really enjoy
You're like, Slim,
that.
relax.
Well, turn down, Slim. Fat Boy Plopper Slim. Yeah. Plop Clocker Slim.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I bought that.
Nice.
I bought that CD. And I don't know. I don't know if there's a capper on that anecdote.
I like the there's no physical media anymore. So
I'm a physical media guy.
I like the
I'm of
physical
that era.
media. Yeah. I didn't quite get to like experience it, but I enjoy the idea of having like I don't play a lot of video games. When I do, I'm like a single player guy. I like the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
And most of the games are like you get them on like the Nintendo eShop. I like having the cartridge and the case for
Feels
the
good.
like. I really like that.
I'm a big movie guy.
It.
I'm a big DVD, Blu-ray guy.
Oh,
I worked at video stores for years.
Okay, cool.
So I was I was there when they were dying, and
going to Family Video used to be my favorite, like high school, college ritual.
It felt so good. You felt safe. Like, oh, this one. It could be this one. Yeah.
There's something like scrolling, looking for a movie on your phone on a streaming service versus like walking around and picking one out.
Yeah, you get to look at it. You get marketed the picture. You go, that does look like a cool picture. I want to see what that picture is all about. You read the description.
I want to see that picture move.
Yeah, I want to see what frame comes before and after that. Yeah. You see the you learn a director's name. You learn an actor's name. You go, who's that actor?
Yeah.
And then that actor is a star. Well, maybe I'll see more movies with that actor,
It was fun to just kind of stumble about and see what happens. Now I feel like, and maybe it's wrong. Like, I know algorithms are designed to give you stuff you'll probably like, but it does take away that element of like finding something way outside. Yeah, way outside your norm.
It's a bummer.
Like,
it's a bummer to me.
It is a bummer.
I don't like the algorithm telling me, here's what I know you'll like. I'm like, I like to dig and find it myself.
Because there have been a couple of movies that I would have never watched, but because I'm in Family Video and interacting with a random stranger, and they're like, "This, I watched this 20 years ago."
Stranger, Stranger tells me.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the most recent.
Yeah, and the opportunity to strike up a conversation with someone being like, "You looking for a good movie, huh?"
Yeah. The most recent one, this is actually a recent movie, but the most recent experience I had with that was I'm now really big into kind of like dystopian sci-fi stuff. Didn't used to be.
Name them. Name your faves.
Blade Runner 2049.
Okay. I didn't care for it personally. I liked Blade Runner.
Yes. Also great.
But yes, go on. Tell me
that was
more.
my entrance point into that whole genre.
Okay.
Because I was randomly just and I was like, why are they making a sequel to this 30 years? And he's like, actually, you should give it a chance.
Yeah.
So I watched it, and I had just never seen anything like that.
Like Blade Runner 2049?
Yeah, like how atmospheric it was, how moody it was, how kind of like just the futuristic look, but it's kind of like it's all concrete, it's dark, it's rainy.
Yeah.
The only things that are colorful are kind of like neon and electronic.
Yeah.
It was just really, and the score, I was like transported.
Yeah.
So then I just started watching a bunch of movies like that.
Yeah. Now, did you go back and watch Blade Runner 1?
I did, but I watched it after the.
Now, how did you feel? Did you were like it wasn't as good as Blade Runner 49?
I really enjoyed it. I didn't have that emotional connection to it because it wasn't like the first one I did.
Yeah.
But I really liked it, and I just loved the score of it as well.
Yes, the Vangelis score.
And I don't remember the character's name, but when he's talking to Deckard and he was like, he's about to fall off the ledge and he's like tears in rain.
Oh yeah, he's about to die.
Yeah,
Rutger Hauer's character.
That speech is great.
Yeah, I've seen things that or whatever. All that will be lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a movie that poses, major philosophical questions.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really good. And it's also it's really, I would say Blade Runner for me is a perfect movie. It does so it combines a bunch of different things, and it even in the scope of film history, because it's film noir, it's taking like ideas of structure from different movements in film,
Yeah.
But anyway, we can get off that. It's well-tread territory. But so what were some other dystopian sci-fi films that led you to?
Ooh. I don't know if this is the perfect example of the category, but I love
Or
Gattaca.
adjacent.
Gattaca.
I love Gattaca.
Loved that movie.
Gattaca's cool.
Watched that movie like 10 times. And I never would have even tried that movie had I not had this random entry point from a random suggestion of a stranger. You know, it wasn't on some algorithm. It was like, this guy's like, hey, listen, I know it's outside your zone. You should try this.
Yeah.
And so
that was a good recommendation. If you like that, you might like Gattaca. Gattaca. So there's an actor named Ernest Borgnine. He's an older actor from another generation, but he's in Gattaca. He's like the old man. I forget his character or whatever.
Okay.
But he's in also a bunch of noir. I'm a big noir person. I watch a lot of old movies and stuff like that.
What's a noir I should try? I don't think I've ever seen a noir.
Noir. Well, they're 40s and 50s movies. You know, I mean.
Like The Third Man, is that a noir?
Third Man's considered a noir. It's not my favorite.
Okay.
I like when the noir stays in America. That movie is set in Europe. It's a good movie, but it's just not my favorite. I watched like over 300 of them during the pandemic. I got obsessed and became like a... I mean, I do a noir night in Tulsa at the Circle Cinema.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's like... Let's be honest. It's the most popular night at Circle. I'm just going to be honest about that.
How I would love to come to one. How often is it?
The next one will be, I think, into July.
Into July.
But I do them every month on a Monday, and I did one the other night. I showed a good one called, great title, Suspense. Not a great title. That was a joke. But
tells you what the emotion is that you're going to experience.
Right.
Nothing about what's
Have you
seen
the funniest comedy of the year is called Humorous.
Did you see the new Jurassic movie called Dinosaur?
Yeah, it's called Bigness. Yeah, this
or the new summer blockbuster Expensive Action.
Yes,
you see that one?
Yeah.
That one's good.
Suspense. Have you seen the new Thriller? It's called Thriller. Have you seen the new Thriller? It's called Michael Jackson album.
Have you seen the new Michael Jackson album? It's called Pop.
Yeah. King of.
Pop, King of.
A lot of good association we're going on here.
Yeah.
But so
film noir night. I want to come.
Film noir. So wait, Gattaca. Oh, I was listening to this DVD interview with Ernest Borgnine, and it's a Q. It was recorded somewhere, and they're asking about his illustrious career and all the movies he's been in. And someone says, you know, so I want to know about your experience in Gattaca. And Ernest Borgnine. I love Ernest Borgnine, but he goes, Gattaca? I've done all this stuff and you ask about Gattaca? and I remember just thinking, like, what's your problem with Gattaca, Ernest Borgnine? Like, but, you know, some old people, maybe he didn't get it. Or maybe he was just being a nice man in a period.
Was it maybe his role wasn't as big as some of the others? So he's like, you know.
Why don't you ask me about something? He was Academy Award winner for a film called Marty. He won an Oscar for that, which won Best Picture in 50, could be 53. 56.
Yeah, he's been at it a long time.
Well, he's dead now.
Oh.
But he was at it a long time until he was an old man. Anyway, should we pull another one of these things, or are we still talking about something? Oh, yeah. Any other dystopians?
Would you consider, I just watched it again recently, so it's front of mind. Would you consider Arrival dystopian, or is that just more like Alien?
Arrival with Amy Adams?
Yeah. Or is that just
I don't know if it's dystopian or utopian. I didn't care for that one.
Let me think.
I don't know if I'm a big fan of the Denis Villeneuve guy. Ooh. I think his aesthetic, I just don't feel, and he did the new Blade Runner. Yeah. He did Arrival. And,
I am a big Denny guy.
You're a Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah.
You're maneuvering toward Villeneuve.
Yeah, I'm a maneuver.
Yeah.
Let me think. What's another one that
Do you ever dip into the 70s? You seen like THX 1138?
No, but if you have some recommendations, I'll definitely. Well, I love
THX 1138 is a real dystopian film.
Okay.
I mean, through and through, it's dystopian, and it stars Robert Duvall. It is the first feature film directed by George Lucas. You ever heard of him? George Lucas. So this was before he did American Graffiti, before he did Star Wars.
Wow.
He did THX 1138.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the first feature film that he directed, and it's pretty cool. Good design.
THX 1138. All right, I'll put that on my list. Let's do one more. This will be our final Oh, here you go. This was our last.
Okay, this was our
finale.
last one. Do I want this more than the other one that I said? I can't remember
Oh yeah. You can
what
choose.
was the other one I said?
You
Let's
can
see.
choose.
Let's see here. We kind of covered a lot of that sort of stuff
Okay.
anyway, so we might as well get on this one. So in high school, this kind of also goes towards some of the thematic things we've been discussing. Are you going to do another one after this, or are we done after this?
This is our big finale.
Oh, this is our big finale. Okay,
Yeah.
There's not, again, this is more an anecdote. There's not much there, but it covers some of the same scene. In high school, I was an on-stage dancer for a ska band.
Really?
That's a deep, dark confession.
I like that.
Yeah, and I suppose my saying that is part, I'm a big proponent of owning what happened, and also the things that like you once found embarrassing, like really how embarrassing is it, or like the thing that you were so sure about as you get older maybe is worth reconsidering.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So one of those things was,
you said you found that embarrassing. I think that's cool.
well, there you go. Time happens,
And I think, have you ever heard the saying, if I rep it, you can't check me?
No, tell me about it.
So basically, it's like if I rep it, like if I represent, if I own it, I'm like, yeah, I did this shit.
Yeah, I was on
can't check me.
I mean, I do talk about it. That's my joke, is that it's embarrassing. I've talked about it on stage,
Okay.
but there's not much there to talk about. It's like in high school, my friends, ska was real big. What, you were born like 96?
95.
95.
Yeah.
So around that time, you probably were, came out the womb to like, around that time.
What is ska exactly?
Ska is a type of music that originated, I believe, in Jamaica.
Okay.
And it sort of even predates, someone else like Johnny Pemberton could tell you this better.
Ooh, okay.
Predates reggae. But it's kind of like was a slower type reggae type of a sound with, a band, and they were probably trying to imitate another type of soul, but putting like a more a beat to it that was more part of the country, and then it has had many waves, and
Okay.
so in the 90s there was a wave. In the 80s and 90s there were waves of ska comebacks that made their way and kind of fused with like punk rock music, and in the 90s there was like a ska wave comeback that was like semi associated with punk.
Okay.
And I don't know, my friends decided, and like there were like punk ska bands like Operation Ivy and stuff like that, and like maybe like there was bands like Rancid have that little sound to it. But I think that, so back then a lot of my friends were like getting really into punk.
Okay.
And they were to the point where I was like, I don't know if I buy like this. We were just in 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th grade, and suddenly now you've decided this is the new me. Some about that didn't quite sit right, I was like, you completely changed your look, and you're like complete, like some just didn't quite sit right about like re-identifying yourself, like as I was growing up.
Gotcha.
Like but I was always, I guess I would do a little of that, but I would never abruptly like, I'm bleaching my hair and I'm getting a piercing and I'm getting a mohawk and I'm dressing with like all studs and stuff like that. If I did, it was more slow transition. Like, well, I'll put a pin. I remember everyone was doing safety pins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was like a punk thing, and part of it was also like, where are they getting this information? How are they learning about like how to change their look?
Yeah.
So some friends started this band, and then they started veering into like ska music, and then I started listening to the ska music, and I think I thought that it was not too far of a stretch that like I could be somewhat, visually punk, but it's not such a crazy, like the way I already dressed could you could classify it not too far away from what the ska look is. So,
Okay,
you know,
cool.
like, I guess I thought, like, as a teenager, like, I identify with this, I think, now. This
Yeah.
is who I am now. But I'm not a musician. So my friends started this band, and I just wanted to be around my friends while they were playing this band, and probably to an annoyance to them as high schoolers. I just was always around to the point where, like, and I was always a very physical, like, performery type, you know, my stand-up act used to be a lot of physical comedy and falling down and stuff like that. And so I was always kind of that way in high school. And so I somehow wound up as their onstage dancer. Like, I don't know if you've heard of, like, the Mighty Mighty Bosstones had a dancer. I'm trying to explain to you a context for why it's lame.
Oh, I'm like,
First.
I'm going the other way.
So, no, but
I'm thinking it's cooler and cooler.
Yes. But I'm trying to give you a context of, like, why it seemed lame. Why? So basically the wave of how it is like, you're a kid, you're growing, you think this thing is new, you want to be a part of it, you think it's cool. And then a few years after, you're like, uh-oh, I'm no longer 16, 17. Now I'm like 20, that 21. Maybe that, like, wasn't cool. I think it was, like, actually not cool. And then for years, you're like, that wasn't cool. I don't want people to know that even happened.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, you're like, you know what? I can talk about how this is, like, funny. And then a few years later, you're like, yeah, whatever, that happened. And then a few years later, now it's just like, hey, that happened. Isn't that funny? You know, but maybe it's an age thing too.
Yeah.
Because another thing about ska that I used to say, and I don't know how I feel about it now, is like, everything gets good again. You know, like,
True.
Like, for me, it's like Fatboy Slim. It's good. It's good again. You know, like when I was a kid and Nirvana was big, I was super into Nirvana, and then Kurt Cobain died, and then new trends showed up, and I was like, well, he committed suicide, and that's wrong. That's the easy way out. So maybe I don't think that's as cool. You know what I like? I like the Crow soundtrack now, you know? And then a few years go by and you're like, Nirvana fucking rules. Not a bad song, you know? And it was like, and then I'm like, now I'm embarrassed about the Crow soundtrack. And then, now I like ska. I don't like the Crow soundtrack anymore. You know, oh, you know what? Now I like cool electronic music. I don't like ska anymore.
Yeah.
You know? And then it's like, and then you move on and you get into whatever the next phase is, and you're like, oh, that was lame. And then, like, they roll back, and suddenly Nirvana's cool again. You know, electronic music is cool again. But for some reason, for me, you know, 30 years goes by, ska never really got good again for me. Like, I never was like, I like that now. Like, if I hear it, I think, well, for years I would hear it and I would be like, that's kind of bad, you know? But maybe it's coming around again. You know what I'm saying?
It might be about time for a big ska renaissance.
I know. Well, there's some songs that are like, that's a good song. Like The Specials is a band that's like got some good songs to it that you might recognize. You know, now that you're not golfing, I think it's time for you to take a big dip into the ska phase.
I need to get into my ska phase.
Yeah, and
for sure.
have you ever heard the expression skanking?
No, I mean, I've heard of a
people
skank.
say. Yeah, you've heard people say skank. Skanking is like when you dance. It's like, come on, they're playing ska. You got to get out there and do some skanking. And also, like, a lot of the ska bands would have like pun names, like Skankin' Pickle. Well, that's not a pun, but you know the you know, like the Tom Skanks. That's a band,
good.
and just made that up. That is a good ska band. Tom Skanks, or like you know, Skank You Very Much, or the ska. There was one called like Skavuvi and the Epitones. There was one called Skankin' Pickle. There was one called, God, I'm skanking on all the skank names. I'm blanking on all the ska names. But they would always put these bad ska puns in there. Like, you know, the famous one that was like an original was like the Scatolites. And I think it was like the Scatolite, you know, satellites or whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I was a ska dancer on my friend's high school band's ska band.
Since you didn't play the instrument, you were like, my body is the instrument.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm here. I'm like the hype man.
Well, and what kind of, like, you were dancing like ironically, or like on stage you were performative dancing?
I think at that age I didn't know the difference.
Gotcha.
I knew that I was funny and I knew that I was silly and kind of flamboyant, you know.
Was their tone like a little sillier, or they're trying to play serious music and you're like, what?
Might have been a mix of both.
Okay.
Might have been a mix of both. High schoolers, they don't know.
Yeah, you're just like, let's try.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes.
I think it's great you put yourself out there.
Well, thanks. I'm sure that a 17, 16-year-old me would appreciate that.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Because I think, and I've gone through this in my life where because you're afraid of like ridicule, you don't put yourself, or maybe I wouldn't put myself out there as much, but then looking back, I'm like, I wish I had always had the courage to be ridiculed.
Right. Yeah. What's to be afraid of here? What's the worst thing that can happen here?
Yeah.
Like
people laugh at you.
Yeah, people think you're lame.
People think you're lame.
Also it's like, but that's also when we talk about it, that's like a time capsule of another era where it's like these were, in my mind, cool counterculture things. I don't know what the cool counterculture things. I mean, they were popular, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
we've learned some big things today.
We have. You were talking about trends coming back around. It made me think of.
What was the trend for you that like you loved it and then you're like, I'm not into that anymore, and then maybe it comes back around?
I think the one that I visually see the most that is like mind blowing to me is I remember even 10 years ago, women would wear skinny jeans and they would make fun of loose, low-rise jeans. And they're like, that is disgusting. Who would ever wear that?
Like butt cleavage type stuff?
Yeah, and
because like early 2000s, Britney Spearsy, where it's like the jeans are so, or like they're so low.
They're just low and loose.
There's like inches below the navel.
Yes. So my sister, really into fashion, so I would hear this stuff from her. Then now people are like, ew, skinny jeans are disgusting. Why would these dumb millennial bitches wear these?
Skinny jeans, or I'm getting it mixed up. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off on your stream. But back it up a little. Sorry, go on.
Well, the idea that there was this trend of low-rise loose jeans that was ridiculed.
Yeah.
And then high-waisted tight jeans were the thing.
Yes.
And then now high-waisted tight jeans are being ridiculed and loose low-rise jeans are back in.
Right.
So, to me, it's like, I've always heard the idea that like, oh, trends come back around, but then when you see it happen in real time,
yes,
it is kind of a little jarring.
You're at the age where you are you're finally witnessing something that was contemporary for you become retro.
Yeah, and I'm witnessing the same people who used to ridicule the thing now doing the thing and ridiculing what they advocated for. And it is weird.
Yes.
It's a little jarring.
Yeah. Yes, and so what I'm trying to say, is like, just own it.
Yeah.
Just have it happen.
Just own wherever you're at now and how you're feeling.
Yeah, and the thing that's like so bad. I mean, it's the same. I wonder if it's the same with like houses. I like old houses, but and so I see certain new houses. I'm like, oh, I can't believe they're like these trends with the new houses. This farmhouse industrial.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure that will become out of fashion in 15 years, and I will have a funny nostalgia for that look of house. I go, they should bring that type of house back.
Yeah.
But sometimes like irony fuses. Irony is a fun way into things for me. Where you're like, if you think something sucks, you go a little closer to it for a laugh.
And then you realize like, oh, maybe it doesn't even suck.
Maybe I like it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I actually like it.
I've done that before too, where I'm like ironically participating.
That's why I went and bought a Fatboy Slim CD. I was like, I'm ironically putting this on. It's good.
Yeah,
it's good. What do you want? It's good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's good. Okay, what is a final wrap up thought? What are we leaving today with?
I don't have it. Do you? You do it like Jerry Springer. You know what I mean?
Jerry Springer.
He gets the final thought. I don't have I just think we covered some interesting. Let's do a recap of what we talked about. We talked about.
We can actually even reference.
We talked about the levels of vanity that are healthy and unhealthy.
True.
For well-being.
Talk about how delicious food is, and yet
about
moderation
food and cookies.
is necessary.
I love them.
Yeah. Talk about some back injuries, some shoes.
Back injuries, shoes. I had foot problems, and I had a bone spur shaved off. Not as severe as your situation.
That sounds intense, though.
Yeah, my feet got real bad, but also it had to do with the weight gain and like probably the blood sugar levels, and so like walking became hard and like they'd get inflamed. So yeah, we talked about health. We talked about
the wishes from the eyelash.
We talked about trichotillomania.
Trichotillomania, is that right?
Yeah, trichotillomania.
Such a specific name for it. Wow.
I know. Well, because it's like the TRICH. It's something to do with hair. It's like a Latin word for hair or something like that.
Talked about how things go in and out of style and kind of how whatever pop culture elements you grew up with, you kind of are like, that's my thing. I don't need to engage as much now.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah. And then you know what? It comes back. And sometimes what's interesting about those, like the Red Snapper CD is like, I put it on, it jars some feelings loose.
It does.
From like another time.
Yeah.
And sometimes they jar bad feelings loose, but I was like, no, I actually feel pretty good listening to this.
There's a couple songs that like at the end of my golf career, I was also at the end of a relationship. So I'm in like physical and emotional pain.
Yeah.
And there was these songs I would listen to. And now anytime they come on, it's like you're right back there. But it's kind of like this beautiful melancholy of like, ooh, I was like really in the throes of life.
Yeah. 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 And so do you still feel the melancholy, or do you think someday you'll have a different context for it?
Now it's like I still feel the melancholy, but I have a little bit of a fondness for it.
Right. You're like, I've learned so much since.
Yeah, it's kind of like, wow, I remember how intense all these feelings were.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that I experienced it in a way.
Yeah.
Even the bad memories are good and the good memories are great.
You have more colors on your palette.
True. Ever expanding the color palette. I think that's a good final pin. We're ever expanding the color palette.
Yes. These are all pieces to paint with.
Yeah. Josh, thank you for coming on today.
My pleasure.
Really enjoyed it,
Very
sir.
fun. Very good conversation we had.
I agree.
Yeah.
I can't wait to come to Film Noir Night once a month on Mondays.
I'll let you know.
Thank
you know.
Folks, we'll see you next time.
Thank you.